than the greatest love the world has known. This is the love I give to you alone. More than the simple words I try to say.
Geno Auriemma had said to beat a team by that much, Creighton had to help us out a little bit, and that certainly was not the Blue Jays' best game back on January 3rd.
Well, the Blue Jays have turned things around significantly since then.
The tip going to UConn. Cameron Inoue and John Capolino. Safe Esho are your officials here today. Some afternoon Monday President's Day basketball from Hartford, Connecticut, the XL Center. Aaliyah Edwards has been playing arguably as good as anyone in the country, but she loses it on that first possession.
Excellent collapse inside and helped by the Blue Jays.
Just named the Big East Player of the Week, Aaliyah Edwards is, and just like that, Molly Mogensen drills the two-pointer. It's a deep two.
She's been lights out, though, from the perimeter through the course of this season. Looks comfortable stepping into that one.
Check it, it's a three. Nika Mule with the back down. Off the high glass, and UConn is on the board. Both of these programs didn't have a transfer leave them from last year to this year. Didn't have a transfer come in from last year to this year.
Only ones in the Big East.
There's another triple try, that time by Jensen.
Nika Mule with toughness, footwork at the end of her dribble, and you're going to see a fast-paced game between both these teams.
Nika Mule with a triple try. Her parents still in attendance. They had their senior night on Friday against Georgetown, and a lot of the parents attending that staying through the weekend, as you would expect, and Mule opens up with a quick 5 points. Seven down to shoot. It's Creighton offense. As we know, it's Jim Flannery, a motion offense. And Jensen drills the two.
You say motion offense, but yeah, you're already seeing some ball screen force turnovers.
Boy, Aaliyah Edwards is smothered by blue jerseys.
Going to be a presence and trying to get shots off, despite the fact that she may be double-teamed at feet inside by Bueckers, but opening things up will be important with some perimeter shooting. You said it. You see it right hand there. 3 blue jerseys just surrounding her.
Yeah, Creighton's going to make it tough, and for good reason. Edwards, the last 5, she's tallied 5 double-doubles and another 2 from Mogensen. So a different start here for Creighton in this second meeting. Edwards with the ball right now. She's missed her first 3 shots. KK Arnold, who averages about 9 per game for UConn here this year, gives it back to Paige Bueckers, and the left-handed land is good, and Bueckers, that's her second shot of the game.
Turns the corner. They're going to need her to be scoring minding. She goes right at Maly.
I know you're shocked by that. Mule, that hesitation, change of direction, and she finds her freshman Ashlynn Shade, who knocks down the three-pointer. That's what she can do, 35% accuracy this year.
And it's been tremendous. Look at her jump. It is 17 starts that she had. She went from averaging 5 points a game to over 13. So increased minutes, increased usage. You see the increased production.
Yeah, between Arnold and Shade, you mentioned the 17 games that they've started together. They're 16-1 during those last 17 games. Of course, one of the big parts of UConn's story this year, the injury story. Wow, that's a deep one from Lauren Jensen.
That kissed the bottom of the net. That was a beautiful back screen as well by Ronsick to set her up.
And Nika Mule is holding her face after that last possession. Well, you know, we talked about 2 injuries, a big story for Connecticut again this year. And, you know, Geno was really transparent to us about just that taking a mental toll year after year. It hasn't, as you know, if you follow the UConn story, it hasn't been a this year problem. It's the last few years kind of problem. And there's not many choices, not a lot of reinforcements on the bench. If a starter like a Nika Mule, Kennedy Townsend has checked in for her first few minutes here for Creighton, and a block shot by Paige Bueckers. She actually leads the team with block shots. Lots of wins between these 2 head coaches, lots of years at one school. It's Arnold from the corner, not there. The cold shooting here for UConn. last couple of possessions. Paige Bueckers, her shooting percentages are off the charts. So impressive with her efficiency. Another opportunity. This crowd appreciates the hustle. Nika Mule again for three. Rattles it in. Mule above a 40% accuracy this year.
Are switching a lot of positions, taking some gambles there in the lanes.
Another three-point attempt, nothing but net for Maly. Her first points, 0 for 2 before that shot. 7 of the first 9 shots have been from 3 for Creighton. Jensen with the crossover and gets the soft touch to fall.
She's had some tough moves, and that's exactly what she does. She shows a variety of where she can get to her spots at and convert.
Mule was looking inside to Edwards. She'll take it. That double team's coming, and Edwards muscles her way in for 2. Going to be a tough day for her. She had missed her first 5 shots because of that defense.
Well, but look at how deep of position that she gets off of that. And Maly doing her best, but just can't withstand the amount of bumping that Edwards does to be able to create that space.
Mentioned that she's just today announced as the Big East Player of the Week. The last week, she's the number 2 scorer in the Big East, the number 1 rebounder in the Big East with the numbers that she put up. Jensen well short. And here comes Mule off to the races. Bueckers leaking out. She's going to step back looking for the three-pointer. That wouldn't have counted. Couldn't get it off in time. And so we're tied at 15 after 1 complete quarter.
But Flannery said we kind of realized it, and we said this discrepancy if you have 6 seniors and then you have 5 players who are sophomores and freshmen. And he said we're probably overcoaching the underclassmen and undercoaching the upperclassmen, and at some point just trying to find the balance and tweaking a couple things schematically. But overall, too, I think it's just the coaching mindset.
First shot taken is by Bueckers, there to start out the second quarter. Obviously no Griffin in this matchup. Someone that averages about 9.6 rebounds, a tough defender that they'll miss the rest of the year. As Morgan Maly sinks the jumper. Two-point advantage here for Creighton. Good, strong take for Aaliyah Edwards. She's got a free throw coming.
There's a couple things you love about this, and one, you get her on the move. We've continued to emphasize how Creighton is packing it in the post when she's on the block, when she catches inside. Well, what happens right here? Catch and go. She's on the attack, does a great job of getting past Ronsick. You see the foul, the reach-in, the finish, but that's where you start to get creative because Aaliyah Edwards is so talented, and we see that in her numbers and her production, the strength she has, how she can rebound. But just moving her and shifting her around a little bit to not allow some of those double teams, collapses, ability to put so much pressure and attention on her.
She missed her first 5 shots, largely in part because she was seeing double and triple teams, but now she has the last 5 UConn points. In the first quarter, 11 of Creighton's 16 shots in the game were from 3. They're hunting down 2-point territory here right now. They were 3 of 11, Creighton was, from 3-point territory in that first quarter. Get another opportunity. Here's a 3-pointer off the mark for Ronsick. Mule on the push. Over to Shade, leaves it short. Mule, so tough. One of the better rebounding guards here in the conference. Keeps this alive for UConn. How about another shot at it? Not going to miss it twice from there. Ashlynn Shade for 3.
35% from 3 on the season, but you get 2 clean looks like that, a second one coming.
Necessarily much of a different story. 4 of the 5 starters have scored. Arnold with the ball right now is the only starter who hasn't scored yet for the Huskies. Using that screen from Edwards. She's looking for it, though. Good defense. Dealing with major injuries. 5 players, again, missing the season with these injuries. Not just 5, but you've got Ducharme, Griffin, Fudd, who were starters.
That itself could be a top 25 starting lineup. I mean, that is a significant amount, not only of players, but the skill and talent level of those players and how they would impact the team.
So Edwards now with 3 seconds here to shoot, trying to take it in left side, draws a foul.
Doing a good job cutting through the defense. Once again, though, to me, a lot of it comes down to just her being able to catch it and put it on the deck and make some moves herself. Because even when you're sending a second over, we've seen she's really nimble on her feet to be able to slice.
Break gives it back up to Maly. Here's Jensen. 9 down to shoot. Jensen off the bounce and the triple. Wow, she had to kind of lean into that one and threw it high off the glass.
Lauren Jensen has been impressive, coming off a 20-point game against St. John's.
Paige Bueckers for 3. Paige Bueckers' shooting percentages are impressive. We're approaching the midway point here in the second quarter. Mule trying to pick one off. Here's Maly. And Aaliyah Edwards whistled for the foul, so that's 2 on Edwards. Got a little excited there for a second.
Let's take a look here. Oh, that's a tough call. That's a tough call. There was a lot of ball off that play. She didn't seem to be, it was very marginal contact with the body. And I know her arms weren't entirely straight up, but there wasn't much contact along the arms.
So 2 on Edwards, and we've got 2 on Arnold. So 2 of your 5 starters, and Geno has not yet gone to his bench yet with a couple of fouls. Shade pulls up from mid-range. Transition look for Maly. Jensen. And Arnold trying to hunt down her first points, and she gets it in that kind of fashion. An and one coming for KK Arnold.
So we've got Ice Brady coming in.
Ice Brady.
But it has been nonstop, both up and down, side to side, and I think just so much of how these teams operate offensively is predicated by those cutting, by that type of movement to help open things up and shift the defense.
Seven seconds here to shoot. Jensen leaves it short. Chases down her own miss, though. Other opportunity. Jensen puts it away. Geno, by the way, didn't know, he told us in the pregame, didn't know that he was approaching the 1,200. Didn't know that one win here today would get him past Coach K for second all-time. Arnold pulls up. Also didn't know that they could clinch at least a share of the Big East title here today. We had to tell him that today,
It's about wins in the moment. It's about improving every night, and there are expectations.
Bueckers with the pick. Back to Mule. Back to Bueckers. Takes the contact. Gets it to drop. And an and one for Paige.
Defense to offense. The Huskies are so excellent at this. I mentioned it earlier, 10 steals per game. They force over 17 opponent turnovers per game. And then the quick give and go between Mule and Bueckers. Tough on the finish for the and one play is a big aspect of what they were able to capitalize in that first meeting in Omaha back on January 3rd, 23 points off of turnover.
31-23. So if you're wondering there would be any, I mean, UConn doesn't celebrate shares of titles, right? So they're, not like that was refreshing. Taking the contact back the other way here for Creighton. And Emma Ronsick will head to the free throw line.
Get it inside to her, finish, foul. The latest net rankings, Creighton 36, UConn up to third. A lot of it, too, you're looking at levels of, okay, Big East tournament, and for UConn, opportunity, South Carolina, Texas, NC State, UCLA, and Notre Dame. It just...
Edwards goes down, and this crowd, if a crowd can try to boost a player, Geno walks across midcourt. And the officials kind of sort of escort him as well as his assistant coach. A technical on Geno, who's frustrated after this play. Edwards or Morgan Maly, but certainly all kinds of contact here on this play.
Well, even after he got the technical called on him. It felt like there was something else that the officials came over.
No foul called on that play, just a technical foul call. Bueckers defending. That left-handed shot is pure. Arnold quickly gives it up. It's the two freshmen working that left side. Arnold leaves it short. Putback's not there.
To not have mismatches when Edwards gets inside.
Last time Creighton led was the start of the second quarter. There's a look for Horan. Somehow the ball finds the hands of Mogensen. Part of an 8-0 Creighton run in the last 2 minutes. Paige Bueckers, 8 points, 3 of 7 shooting. Gets it out to Mule, who hit her first 3 shots. Can't get that one to drop. Bueckers has some time and pulls the trigger in and out. And Moran will take these last few seconds on the bench. Here's Creighton with the final possession here of the half. A chance to take the lead. No call after the shot was deflected by Ice Brady. Good defense here by UConn. We are tied at the end of the first quarter. We are tied at the end of halftime. Oh, so these are your scoring leaders. A game-high 11 points for Lauren Jensen. She had 12 points in that January 3rd meeting, so almost reaching that point. Paige Bueckers with 8. Nika Mule hit her first 3 shots. She's got 8. Creighton opens up with the first possession of the second half. They had closed the first half on an 8-0 run. Their last lead coming with at the very beginning of the second quarter in this game, when they led 17-15. Opportunity here with 8 seconds here on the shot clock. Jab step to Jensen. Tries to get Arnold in the air. Well, that's been the kind of day for Lauren Jensen. What a shot.
Arnold was doing everything she can to stay in front to contest. Jensen has been tremendous at the end of her dribble.
13 points now for Jensen. Crowd on its feet until UConn gets a bucket. Paige Bueckers is trying to provide it, and the kick out to Arnold for 3.
And there's been a couple of those created by Bueckers, by Mule. UConn has been passing the ball well, but there's been some empty looks of just great shots created.
Oh, off the glass. Morgan Maly will take it. Looks all the same in the box score. This crowd getting a little antsy here. Now trailing by 5. UConn is in a 13-0 extended run here for Creighton. Bueckers with that bigger defender. Maly defending. Nothing but net.
You talk about a tough move, creating space for Bueckers using her size. And that's what you want to see in this second half.
Bueckers with the rebound. But it's off of Creighton last.
How it pertains to Creighton taking care of the basketball, but that applies too to the glass. UConn's done a really nice job in how they've crashed the offensive glass.
Shade cuts out of that baseline out of bounds play. And trying to force a jump ball. We got a double dribble.
Yeah, I mean, it is a double dribble.
Out of the baseline, out of bounds. Paige Bueckers hitting her first couple shots. Again, a win today for Connecticut. Clinches a share of the Big East title. Also the #1 seed in the Big East tournament. Creighton still not mathematically eliminated from winning at least a share of the Big East title. But a win today is a necessity here for the Blue Jays. Shade taking it inside. UConn now answering to a strong third quarter. Huskies answering with a 6-0 run of their own. 3 on the way, in and out. Creighton puts up about 25 3-point attempts per game. They're at 21 right now here in the third quarter. Mid-range jumper for Ashlynn Shade.
And Shade First with the nice attack, then there's some room that she gets her spot to.
Wilkinson feeding the post. Morgan Maly had 7 of her 10 points in that second quarter. How about another block for Bueckers?
She is so good defensively. The instincts, the hands.
And Edwards,
and just her understanding and IQ in particular on the defensive end, using her size, her hands, 6-foot frame, gets her hands on it, pops out, but Shade picks it up, and even
Edwards for 2.
Beginning that possession, staying in front. Aaliyah Edwards has worked for every one of her baskets.
Edwards 9 points, 3 of 10 shooting. Corralled about 4 rebounds here today too. A 10-0 scoring run in about 3 minutes and an offensive foul call, so things are shifting here midway through the third quarter. And Jensen's first. Well, Jensen averages about 17, the second leading scorer here for Creighton this year. These starters for UConn, really a different story, playing a hefty dose of the minutes in the first half. Edwards again right side.
And it begins with a drive by KK Arnold. So I think is so important, either catching Edwards on the move or where the defense is rotated and shifted rather than just dumping it into it.
And Jim Flannery can feel this shift here at the XL Center. I just want to take time to congrats Pam Flanky, who we've worked with so much. She's now going from the Big East to the WNBA, working with the Dallas Wings as Vice President of Communications and Broadcasting. And when we're talking about our relationship with the conference, she has been a major part of that and has made our jobs a lot easier. Out of that timeout, Bueckers with the miss. Edwards, though, pursuing the glass. She'll have a couple free throws coming.
Once again, you see the quickness, though. Early offense in transition for UConn. I always thought I'd be a great race car driver.
And what would make you say that?
Because I'm an excellent driver in general.
You hardly ever drive. I think I need proof before I hop in a car with you. Edwards got the last 6 UConn points. Connecticut on a current 14-0 run, matching. We mentioned that 13-0 extended run by Creighton to open things up in the third, and UConn, boy, have they responded. And just Maly couldn't grab it, and a team that really does a good job taking care of the basketball looked discombobulated on that. Quickly to Edwards. Gets that soft touch, man. If she can consistently, UConn averages about 10 steals per game. That's tops in the Big East. And now they've got Creighton thinking about it. Offensively, another turnover for the Blue Jays.
And a lot of things just then on target.
And here's what turn and face. She's got a one-on-one chance there on left side. Draws a foul against Ronsick. Edwards has scored the last 9.
I mean, so many of the numbers are impressive, but running the offense through her also opens and spaces out the floor.
And Edwards, just like that, has picked up number 4, and she brings her hands to her head. And so Geno's hand is forced. Ice Brady only played about 3 minutes in the first half.
We're conscious of space, time, where you are at on the floor if your coaches trust you to be in.
Adding insult to injury for the UConn side. Lauren Jensen drills a three-pointer. But Edwards knew it, based on her reaction.
Yeah.
If she could take that back, she would. A 3 for a 3, and Ashlynn Shade.
Just for UConn to remain poised.
Turning, gets it to drop. And a three-pointer for Bueckers. UConn has gone back-to-back. Points for Bueckers. A block from Brady. She was waiting for it.
Draining the 3 off the dribble handoff by Mule, and then this time the other end, nice block by Ice Brady. The tracking, the timing.
Mule to 3. Boy, UConn not so hot from 3-point first half has just lit it up in the last few minutes.
There's a lot of time left in this game, but you want to talk about a response when Edwards picks up that foul, goes to the bench, gives Creighton a little bit of life.
Last 9 points from three-point territory for the Huskies. And Brady, an important defensive rebound, draws the foul.
Everyone's going to contribute, so it's not about necessarily just doing all the things Aaliyah Edwards.
Wilkinson, meanwhile, has picked up her 4th personal, so she's got 4 on the Creighton side, has to sit out. Aaliyah Edwards sitting on the bench, Brady in for her. But she's had back-to-back double-figure scoring games against Xavier. UConn has only played the 6 players here today. Put back, not there. Brady might get another chance to kick out to Ronsick. And Lauren Jensen has been the answer for Creighton on that time. A 27-10 advantage here in the 3rd. Final few seconds. Here's Arnold. Left side. The pass deflected. And UConn, the biggest quarter of the day. A 27-10.
And UConn makes their living off of that. Their ability to pressure the basketball, getting in passing lanes. They had forced 5 Creighton turnovers in that 3rd quarter alone.
Yeah, put that in perspective for a Creighton team that has the 5th fewest turnovers per game. They average only about 11 per game. 5 in that quarter. And compared to the 4 turnovers in the first half total for Creighton. UConn looking to add to its lead. Muir with the miss. Aaliyah Edwards starts on the bench for UConn here this quarter. Muir has gotten knocked a couple of times in the face. I think they're used to the way she plays.
Take a look right here. Shot doesn't go in. Does she get knocked there a little bit at the end?
A lot of individual action, right? You see Jensen with the ball in her hand. 7 seconds here to shoot. Creighton's a team that gets normally 17, 18, assists per game, but Jensen had the ball in her hands that whole possession. Bueckers from the wing and fouled on the 3-point shot. There were a couple going down like bowling pins. A couple of Creighton defenders
hitting her. You understand why. Paige Bueckers, a player, as we mentioned, about 44% from the 3-point line. You want to try and close out on her tough. Timely 3-point make along with Shades and the Mules after Edwards went to the bench with foul trouble.
She went, as you know her story, 584 days between games. And at the start of this year, Geno Auriemma has talked about how it's an adjustment for teammates to play with her again and for Paige to play again. As Paige picks it up and leading Nico Muir with a good quarterback and receiver, Paige Bueckers with a tip-in for 2.
Big smile as she cleans things up for her teammate and Mule. And for Bueckers too, her transition passing vision, putting it on point for teammates is so excellent.
Maly with Bueckers in her face. Inside the lane, and Bueckers get it to make it 22 on the day.
It's an opportunity. Geno doesn't use a ton of his bench, and some of these reserve players to get them some minutes.
Samuels is 1, and coming over to try to challenge that shot. Boy,
touches number 1 free throw percentage shooting team in the league. It's wild.
UConn is 8 of 20 from 3. Here's another. Nico Muir from the corner. Aaliyah Edwards was on a roll, too, in the 3rd quarter. I mentioned she had the 9 points to lead her team there in the 3rd. By the way, she's only fouled off once this year against UCLA. That was the November 24th game. In that dunker area and putting it back. Mallory Brake stayed with it. A 15-point advantage here for UConn. Trying to salt this one away. And Paige Bueckers left all alone. Left the whole defense behind her.
That's filthy. Stop and go. The ground she covers with her strides.
24 points now for Bueckers on 18 shots taken. It was an earlier game against Louisville where Jeff Walls had talked about her efficient numbers, but she said, look, she's going to get 20 points. but she's not going to take like 25 shots to do it. And that's what's impressive to him and a lot of people who watch Paige Bueckers play. Aaliyah Edwards gets a 2 in some time. 18 points now for Edwards.
Smooth with step through, putting on the ground. Yeah, because Bueckers, she doesn't take bad shots. She doesn't force a shot.
Bueckers with another block.
Spacing, the quickness she uses. She's also got length in her arms, and a lot of that is the hand-eye coordination. And for a player as smart and savvy as she is, and we see it so often really jump off the page on the offensive side, that's the same way she plays defensively.
Wilkinson, Shade with her 13 points. 4 players in double figures here for UConn. Edwards showing some range. That was just inside the three-point line. And Shade gets her hand on it. So a couple of subs checking back in. Samuels checks back in. Bueckers finishes with 24 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. And Newell, another double-figure score, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. And we got one more sub coming in. And Edwards' day will be done. 20-point day for Aaliyah Edwards with 8 rebounds. 9 of her 20 coming in the third quarter. This will snap Creighton's 11-game win streak. The longest win streak in Creighton's program history since the 08-09 season.
Sandwiched between 2 losses by UConn.
Creighton actually has never beaten UConn. They will fall to 0-9 today.
And give a ton of credit to the Huskies for it.
It'll be 6 top 25 wins now. You hear Geno Auriemma's words. It's really going to be, depending on what other teams do across the country, he hasn't given up hope on the #1 seed. Right now, they have him as like a 2 or a 3. And the most recent reveal has him as a 3 seed. But depending, anyone can beat anyone here in the women's college basketball world, it seems. So, when you get into conference tournament play, nothing's totally out of the realm. Though it would be a challenge. UConn with the top strength of schedule in the country. And the finger roll finish for Shade. Ashlynn Shade. A good game for her, 15 points. A few points more than her average at about 11 here this season. And the final few seconds ticking off here at the XL Center to a standing ovation by the UConn faithful. The UConn Huskies, another Big East title to their program. They have clinched at least a share of the Big East regular season title.